My personal favorite song on Illmatic album is every song.
Yeah. Yo, Black, it's time, word.
My name is DJ Premier. I am a producer, DJ, artist, and hip-hop junkie.
My name is Faith Newman. I was executive producer of Illmatic.
The Chocolate Boy Wonder, Pete Rock, Soul Brother #1, Mount Vernon, New York. Large Professor, producer.
My name is Minya O, and I wrote the review of Illmatic in 1994 in The Source magazine.
I first heard Live at the Barbecue, I guess, when everybody else did, on the main Source album. And I flipped out over this kid, Nasty Nas. I went down the hall to my boss, and I said to him, if you don't let me sign anything the entire time I'm here, you must let me sign this kid. And I was so passionate about it that he just said, okay, let's do it. And that's how it all started.
Live at the Barbecue. That did it for me. That's made me want to jump on board with Large Professor. When he came to me and asked to be down with this Illmatic project.
We kind of supported what Nas wanted because we knew he was a serious artist that knew what he wanted to do. Like, Nas had a big hand in like, yo, check this out. Like, nah, we gonna throw my pops on the end, playing the horn type thing, you know what I'm saying? So he was very much involved with like the picking of the music and the tone of it and everything like that.
He'd go through beat after beat after beat after beat after beat. Wasn't feeling it, until he found that one thing that he liked.
When we were recording Halftime, that was Nas's first go-round at making a solo record. He was Nasty Nas. Now, he had the studio time because prior to that, we were working on other people's studio time. It was like he was at the helm now.
There were 5 producers instead of 1. And most hip-hop albums up to that point had 1 producer. And this had kind of the best of New York.
I know that I never felt that way before or since about a single first-time interaction with an album. You have every single tremendous producer stepping their game up, not just like, oh, this is a gig, I'm just doing this as a favor, but this was their passion project for Tip and Primo and Large Professor.
My favorite song was New York State of Mind. I could honestly say it. The intensity and just the pureness, it captured the whole New York, perfectly. As a fan of Nas, as a fan of Preem, as a fan of hip-hop, it was just yo, this is crazy.
The day we did New York State of Mind, and he and I found the sample together. I'm stumbling around, he's looking at record covers, and we both heard that melody of that piano. We both said, it's something about when something catches you, we all stop and look at the same time when that note hits. And when it hit, he was like, you can look that up. I was already like, oh yeah, I was going to, whether you said to or not.
When he's saying, and so now I'm jetting through the building lobby, and it was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be.
So now I'm jetting to the building lobby, and it was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be.
That's ebonics. That's not anything anyone's gonna say. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna know how to flip that with that ebonics and all of that shit.
It didn't matter, though, where you were from. His words were so vivid. You heard it, and you were in Queensbridge, you were in New York City.
It's a guy from New York City representing New York City and talking about a place where he's from in New York City. There's lots of stories to tell when you're from the hood.
He threw a shine on Queensbridge that didn't exist before.
I feel like Illmatic is still undeniably a classic because what other album are people this passionate about 25 years later?
It is a work of art, just like Da Vinci or Shakespeare. It just stands alone as kind of this masterpiece of hip-hop. And I think that, in the pantheon of great albums, period, it ranks right up there. I'd put it next to the Beatles' White Album.
Illmatic stood the test of time, in my opinion. Still #1, still on the mountaintop, can't be knocked off. If we knew what we were doing when we were doing it, I'm telling you, man, it was way ahead of its time.
You can't avoid soul, and you can't avoid when something hits you in your heart. It's just unavoidable, and that's not something that's forced. It just has to either grab you or it doesn't.
When you can make something that is so personal to you that it actually makes it universal for everybody else, then that's a classic.
What's up, African? What's up, African? Yo, to Haiti, Barbados, Bahamas, Grenada, the wars against love, we under attack. Paris, PR, St. Thomas, DR, the wars against love, who's busting back? From New York to Botswana, London to Guyana, to every single African that's on the map. Yo, to Mexico to Cuba, Iceland to Bermuda, the wars against love, we under attack. They say Manhattan keeps on making it, Brooklyn keeps on taking it, Bronx keeps creating it, and Queens keeps on caking it.
Welcome to Queens.
The whole world flies into New York's largest borough. From Queensbridge to Far Rockaway, each neighborhood has its own story to tell. No matter if you're a high roller or a young hustler, we're never afraid to roll the dice, to gamble on ourselves until the vision becomes a reality. But for everything we accomplish, we always level up and plant seeds for the next era to shine. Because as far as Queens has come, get ready for where we're about to go. Imagine that.
If I ruled the world.
Resorts World, Queens, New York, the evolution.
NAS, what defines my name? NAS, what defines my name?
Name existed forever, means victory, helper. Whole name means protector, shorten it by 2 letters, without the IR at the end. The reincarnated Gil Scott, living in the bottle again. The World Cup in Moscow, with a blonde who's a 10. Vape pen, when I speak, it's like a lottery win. Quote,
It's not fully done yet. I have a little change I want to put out every 8 bar, but it's just a little 1 bar piece. But out of all of them, because of the scratches, I was like, it's catches. That's why I did it like that with the scratches.
but the one with the cuts kept, with my name, it kept coming back to me in my head like, wait a minute.
And I didn't want to bite.
It's so obvious.
And I didn't want to bite Nas's like either, you know, because,
Right, me either.
Because I'm taking little pieces, but the NAS was new, and the way Biz just with that Nas.
Yeah, I've been writing so long, just being in the studio non-stop with records, that it comes now. I'm just so used to it.
Right. Yeah. That you could just knock this out. So you about to drop another album?
With Premiere.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. Hey, yo, 30 years later, Illmatic was dropped. Yeah, man, what the fuck am I doing?
Hey, yo, Prim, chill. I got the rhymes, you got the beats.
All right.
30 years later, we back in the streets, we back in the lab.
All right, then. Let's
It's
go,
time.
Nas.
It's time. It's album time. Yeah.
It's time.
It's time. Black is time.
Pow!
Album soon. Let's go.
Let's hear that.
I like that.
Cool.
Cool.
It doesn't need to be much.
That was crazy. I got the
I got to come up with the songs from the golden eras that really blend this whole thing together. There's not enough room on this wax for all of the songs, and I'm like, I want all of these songs on here.
You got to go with your own inspiration, whatever
The stuff that touched
you.
me. 90% of the way that I listen to music is through vinyl. I mainly listen to vinyl. Get up and put one on, and it's a different feeling.
It's wonderful to deliver vinyl to the consumer, to the public. They're all available now, and people can have the set.